And the 13% who's been thinking about what they wanted to achieve were twice as successful as those who have done nothing. I got a challenge for you, ladies and gentlemen. At 5 o'clock when we conclude today, I would love you to write down your career objective. And it doesn't have to be several pages. Just put down 3 or 4 or 5 bullet points saying, from what I got today in this workshop, this is what I want to achieve utilizing some of the tools 6 months from now. Don't do it 10 years from now, because it's so easy measurable what we're talking about today, and it's so easy to implement some of the changes and immediately gain more success. So do me a favor, guys, for the rest of today, prepare when we conclude to write down whatever you find is appropriate, 3 or 4 or 5 bullet points. This is the success I want to achieve 6 months from now by implementing or changing an approach into negotiation. What do cocaine, amphetamine, gambling, sex, exercise, and a fantastic negotiation have in common? That's a great question, isn't it? And before any one of you wanders too much in your thoughts, I haven't tried everything on the slide, okay guys, just for the record. Anyone got any idea what scientists know that all of these stuff have in common? Excitement? Yeah, and you're right about that. And what is generating excitement? It's a physical thing happening in the brain. What's that? The brain releases dopamine, and that means dopamine makes us happy, glad, excited, enjoying stuff, okay? Do you know what's interesting? Researchers has clearly identified that whether you do cocaine, which I wouldn't recommend, whether you take amphetamine, which I wouldn't recommend, whether you gamble, have sex, I probably would recommend this one, and exercise, these two are pretty good things, and do a fantastic negotiation, the brain releases the same amount of dopamine. Isn't that fascinating? So instead of doing these bad things up here, just do more negotiation. You'll have the same excitement. Isn't that fascinating? I wouldn't necessarily say you should cancel these things down here because they're good in different areas, but you know, in general, it's actually proven that you get the same amount of satisfaction concluding a very good negotiation. Anyway, I would love you to write these 10 items down, because if we should simplify negotiation, we can basically do it by saying a negotiation got 10 phases. And since we only got approximately 2.5 hours today, it is limited what we can cover, but I want to give you a general idea of how simple negotiation can actually be planned, prepared, and conducted. It's all about having the right tools at the right time, and bringing the right toolbox, and then of course knowing how to utilize the tools into a negotiation. The first phase in a negotiation is very often identifying that we're having one. What I find in general around the world is a lot of people are involved in negotiation which they don't realize